API gateway can verify an API key, every gateway can limit traffic, every API gateway can enforce quotas. But what happens when your business team gives you a rule like this? If order type is international and country code cannot be USA, there is no standard APG policy that can implement this business rule. We need code, and that's exactly what we are going to build today. By the end of this video, you will learn how to execute custom JavaScript inside Apigee, validate complex business rules, protect your backend from invalid requests. Let's begin by creating the proxy and preparing the JavaScript resources. So today we are resolving a classic enterprise integration hurdle, applying sophisticated custom cross-field data validation directly at our API gateway boundary before traffic is allowed to consume downstream microservice compute resources. Now, if you come from a .NET Core background, you are intimately familiar with building custom action filters, model validation layers, or request interceptor middleware. Think of our gateway validation work today as an edge request filter running ahead of your backend endpoints. Now, let's click through the Apigee's proxy creation wizard, where I am in at the moment. Click on create, and it takes me to create a proxy, reverse proxy most common. We'll give it a name, order processing version 1, and with the base path context pointing to /v1, that is version 1, /order processing v1. All right, let's keep it a bit simple. Version 1 order, rather orders, because it's a collection of orders. Now I'm leaving the description as it is, and in this field I'll have to fill mocktarget.apg.net/json. Okay, now this target endpoint is a public mock utility provided by Apigee and is the undisputed gold standard for engine demos. It keeps your architectural lessons completely clean of external dependencies. Okay, so you don't need to configure cloud database or spin up local web APIs to execute this lab, yet it provides consistent, predictable JSON responses. So let's complete the setup wizard and jump straight into our develop workspace tab. So here I will just leave it. Click on next, and there are no service accounts. Deployment environment is the eval environment. That's the only one environment at our disposal. Click on create, and it will create the proxy. So it has created the proxy. Now it is doing the deployment as well, the first version of deployment. Now we have been able to deploy the API proxy version 1. So click on develop tab. So in this develop tab, we are tracking our proxy code structure. So we'll have to stage our execution script asset. So under the navigation, you got this resources. Okay, so I've clicked the plus icon and select JavaScript as our language. So by default, it is resource type is JavaScript, and as this is our language extension option, you can say, and we can name the file. We have to create a new file, and if we had a file already present in our hard disk or our file explorer, we can just import it. Okay, so I will name this file as validateorder.js. Okay, so it's validateorder.js. Click on add. Now the validateorder.javascript, this file is created for me. It is just a placeholder file, and now I paste the code that is on my clipboard, save it, save as new revision, of course. So let us look into this part, validate order part, and see how it works. Now in this part of the code, context.getVariable request.content assigned to a request payload variable. So what we do is we invoke context.get variable to catch the raw string array of the incoming JSON body. Now this functions exactly like the mapping of an incoming request stream inside a C# action filter. We immediately wrap our core inspection parameters in a standard try catch block. So try catch block, and so this is the important condition, core business rule validation. So if order type is simple to understand, isn't it? Equals international and country code is USA, then validation failed becomes true, then validation is failed. So invalid international order, country code cannot be USA for international order types, else validation is succeeded, because validation dot field is false in that case. Okay. Now that our JavaScript resource is ready, let's integrate it into the Proxy execution flow. I have now clicked the plus symbol next to this policies, and it has come up with this wizard, create policy, and I have selected JavaScript, and I'll have to give this a name. So JS is already appended to this, and I will give an attachment JS. So validate order logic. Display name is also the same. So we can keep the display name as the same as the name of this policy, custom policy, and JavaScript file. This is the resource file. Okay, validate order, which we have created in the previous step, and we click on create. It's all created now. JS validate order logic.xml. Now, within this XML block below, notice the primary resource URL. Tag points securely to this resource URL, jsc colon validate order.js, which is the file we created earlier. Critically, ensure that the policy's root attribute continue on error reads as false. Okay, so it is by default, it has been created as false. And this means that the Apigee's core processing engine is instructed to halt normal flow handling instantly if the scripting runtime encounters an unexpected execution fault. Now we must configure an elegant structured error handling block to intercept failures. Now click the plus icon next to the policy and create a policy. Now this time it will be assign message. So click on assign message. It will be assign message type policy, and we name this set validation response. Okay, so assign message with set validation of the response and the same display name here, and create. Now this assign message policy, this element acts as our custom error visualizer. It clears default platform fault contexts and assembles a pristine uniform enterprise payload structure, returning an explicit 400 bad request status alongside a custom JSON body projection, mapping our validation.reason token stream variable to our consuming client apps. So now let's navigate to our proxy endpoints default. Now after saving, first we'll have to click on the eval and then deploy. Now you're sure you want to deploy revision 2 of the API proxy order processing version 1 to environment? Yes. So now deployed order processing version 1 revision 2 to eval after saving all those policies that we have created earlier. Now next step is to, now we are on the proxy endpoint default. So on this graphic side, you've got request preflow and postflow. So what we'll do on the request side, so on the request side preflow, what we'll do, we will add a policy step and we'll select the existing policy, our JavaScript validation logic. Okay, validate order logic, and then click on add. There is no condition, and click on add. So this is added, JS validate order logic under the proxy endpoint request preflow. After this, we again click this icon and put the other policy step also. Assign message policy also we'll put over there. There's no condition, and click on add. So that is also dropped on the proxy endpoint request preflow type, preflow side. It is getting deployed. Now we put the condition validation.field true just within this step. And this assign message set validation response. Okay, so just paste it and then save as new revision and then deploy. Now this will be revision 4 deployment. Revision 4 eval environment deploy and then confirm to deploy it. Implementation is only half the story. Now let's prove that everything works using the Apigee Debug tool. Welcome back. In our previous segment, we established the foundation of our order processing version 1 proxy. We successfully implemented the core JavaScript validation logic to parse our incoming JSON and set our state flags. But if you look closely at our original design, we were utilizing an assign message policy to handle our error reporting. Now, before we move into our final testing, I want to clarify one detail you might notice as you follow along. As we have migrated from our initial lab build into this final production-ready environment, you see that our proxy is now labeled custom order processing here or here. Okay, so our workspace has also shifted to our final GCP project, which is named as my first project, but this is different from the project that we started on. Now, this is a common pattern in enterprise deployments, moving assets across environments, and you will frequently find yourselves renaming or re-importing assets to align with corporate naming standards. So don't worry, the internal logic of our gateway is entirely portable. While the proxy name has been updated to custom order processing to meet production standards, the core engine, our JS validate order logic. So this is the JS validate order logic. This is the policy, JavaScript policy that we drew in the last part. It remains exactly the same as what we built together earlier. However, here is the architectural aha moment for you. While the assign message policy in the earlier lecture was great for getting started, it is a non-terminating policy. It would append our error message, but then in a true enterprise environment, it would allow bad traffic to also continue marching right to our backend microservices. Now that's a waste of compute and a security risk. To build truly professional grade API gateways, we need to implement a terminating pattern. Now we have evolved our design to use raise fault. So these are raise fault policies. Okay, so this ensures that our logic detects an invalid state. Whenever it happens that our logic detects an invalid state, the request is terminated immediately at the edge, protecting your backend resources. Okay. Now let's open our invalid order response. And here is the code. I have expanded it. All right. Here we define a status code of 400. All right. Unlike our previous approach, this instruction tells the Apigee message processor to halt execution immediately. So it doesn't reach the route rule. It doesn't hit your backend. It stops right here at the edge, protecting your upstream resources. And let's look at the proxy endpoint default XML. Now here, what I want you to know that you have this conditions flag. Okay, condition flag. So validation.field equals false. Okay, so if the validation is succeeded, so this condition will be executed. So validation field is false. That means validation succeeded. We have created a deterministic, predictable pipeline. We have cleaned up our project by deleting the legacy assign message. So there is no more assign message policy that you were used to in the last video. And this keeps our file structures lean and purpose built. This is what is maintainable. Our enterprise ready code looks to. Now the moment of truth. Here you can see that we have deployed our final revision to the environment, test environment, and first the sad path. So here it's the command where the order type is international and country code is still USA. So you can see here both the things. I have at the moment started a debug session which was in progress. So it is showing the invalid response. You can see here response content, bad request, invalid international order, country code cannot be USA for international order types. And also you have got this same response over here in the Google Cloud shell, which I have activated from, it is already activated. So error, invalid, international orders, country code cannot be US. All right. And now let's see the happy path. Now happy path code is on my clipboard. Okay. So you can see order type is domestic and country code is still USA, and then hit enter. And you got status success message, order processed successfully. And you can see here the post request 200. All right, success. If I double click or just click it, you can see the properties, response headers, response content, status success message, order process successfully, 200 OK response. Okay, and the variables. So now this is the trace tool, you can see. And how the trace is completely clean. We don't see the backend target because our raise fault. Now you can see here, if I toggle the panel, no target. Okay, so this is no target for 200 OK response, as well as no target for the invalid response. Now this is very important thing to understand, and we don't see the backend target because the raise fault policy terminated the flow. There is no target, so there is no backend target. So the raise fault policy, as it terminated the flow at the API gateway edge. So if you click the JS validate order logic step, now let's go back to our develop. Now you can see here I've expanded this validate order logic. So if the order type is international and the country code is USA, validation is failed. So validation.failed is true. Okay, international order, country code cannot be US or international order types, right? And here it is, context.set variable, validation field is false. That means validation succeeded. So here I explicitly initialize the flag if it is valid. So in this lab, I have demonstrated and successfully shown you how can we intercept an invalid request and block it, all while providing the client with a clear professional error message. And this isn't just about making it work, it's about making it resilient. Thank you for joining me in this deep dive, and I will see you in your next lecture.